focus on the four most important topics. Let's say for example, politics पे 15 questions आ गया, environment पे 15 questions आ गया, economy पे 15 questions आ गया. Maximum 60 questions only you will be able to attempt. Maybe we are not sure, but one thing you have to mandatorily focus is you have to significantly improve on the logical and elimination as well. I should not be wasting my time revising Parliament again and again. Rather, I should be investing more number of time on focusing the constitutional bodies, wherein my accuracies is only like 30 to 40%. So therefore, you will have to practice today, practice from now on. You'll have to do a lot of and you have to practice in solving the paper in close to 1 hour 50 minutes. Actually, in this session, we are going to be discussing what you have to do in the last close to 1 month or maybe 35 days that you have up here, right? Now, first of all, let me tell you that already those who are students, especially Smith, you have seen some of the students who are actually part of dominant Prelims here. We have already had this session before. Okay, we already have what you have to do in the last 45 days. So mostly I'll be talking about the same thing. So therefore you don't need to waste your time watching this session. Okay. Those students who have never watched that particular session of what you have to do in the last 40 days or the 45 days in the previous session we have taken, you can definitely continue watching this session. Okay. So those who are already part of dominant Prelims, you don't need to watch this session. You can completely skip this session. Now, the most important question here, you must have seen several YouTube videos because other academies have also made videos regarding the same. But one thing that is going to differ in this video is, I'm going to give you more of a practical based approach on what you have to do. Certain academies say that you have to dedicate 1 week for polity, 1 week for economy, 1 week for geography. Let me tell you, these are basically very impractical things. Okay? Because only if you actually focus on the four most important topics, let's say for example, politics पे 15 questions आ गया, environment पे 15 questions आ गया, economy पे 15 questions आ गया, maximum 60 questions only you will be able to attempt, right? But in order to qualify prelims, you need to attempt close to 90 to 95 questions. So therefore, focusing only on the four most important topics, let me tell you, won't help you clear the UPSC Prelims. Okay. So, coming on to the most important thing, what do you have to do in the last 35 days? Or what are the non-negotiables? Now, the first and foremost thing, as all of you know, you will have to focus on the micro themes only. This is the most important thing. Okay. Let's say, for example, you're going to study ancient history. And ancient history, as all of you know, hardly one or two questions come. So, is it possible for you to study the whole of R. Sharma, the whole of 12th NCERT, 6th NCERT? Is it possible for you to complete the same? No. So what should you focus on ancient history? Anyone? You should be focusing on the sites, because in 2025, there was a question with respect to Mahajanpadas. You should be focusing on the Ashokan sites. In 2022, there was a question with respect to Dauli, Eragudi, Chaugada, and all the Musky and all the other different Ashoka sites. You must be focusing on the IVC sites. 2021, there was a question with respect to Dolavira. So what do you have to do? You need to study almost all the topics, almost all the subjects, be it medieval history also you need to do, be it art and culture also you need to do, ancient history also you need to do. But what do you need to do? Make sure that you are only focusing on the micro themes. And where do you get that? I hope all of you have the micro themes document with you, right? So the one thing is, you'll have to focus on your content. The second most important thing is, you will have to focus on how you have to solve the paper. Because solving paper is very important, right? Now, how do you improve that? Right. Now, most of you might be solving the paper. Let's say, for example, the full-length paper in maybe one round, right? Maybe you will be doing the whole 1 to 100 questions in one round. Is it the right way to do? Some of you might be facing questions with respect to the time management, right? Maybe you are taking close to 2 hours 15 minutes or maybe 2 hours 10 minutes in order to solve the paper. This is also a very, I would say, this is also very impractical, for the fact that you'll have to practice yourself in completing the paper in close to 1 hour 15 minutes, right? Because in the actual UPSC paper, it's a more of a very tensed environment. All of you will be sweating. It will be more like you're in a pressure cooker or something. So therefore, you will have to practice today, practice from now on. You'll have to do a lot of facilities and you have to practice in solving the paper in close to 1 hour 50 minutes. then only in UPSC you will be able to complete the paper in close to 2 hours. Right. So question paper solving, focusing on the content, and the third most important thing that we are going to talk about the video is you have to improve the elimination techniques as well. Okay. Now let's say for example, Abhi, your scores in the full length test, for example, in our Civilsdaily open test or in the forum or any other academies, your marks is between 60 to 80. 60 to 80. Or let's say for example 50 to 60 or something. Now how do you think you can qualify? Do you think that if you actually focus on the content alone, you will be able to see a significant boost of content maybe from 60 to 100 in the last 30 days? Maybe, we are not sure. But one thing you have to mandatorily focus is you have to improve, you have to significantly improve on the logical and elimination as well. Right. So logical and elimination, doing a lot of questions, focusing on the micro themes is what we are going to be discussing in this session. Okay, everyone? Now, what do you have to do? In my opinion, you have to split the days into two. Okay. The first phase will be starting from today, will be from April 21st to May 10th. Now, what should you focus on here? You should be focusing on the micro themes revision. Let's say, for example, when you do polity, don't go and do the making of the constitution, the citizenship, the parliamentary forum, parliamentary group, or all the other, unimportant things. Rather, what you have to do? You have to study the parliament. You have to focus on the fundamental duties and rights, DPSPs, and you'll have to focus on the judiciary. Right. So solely focus on the micro themes and ignore those areas which pay itna sara questions nahi aata hai UPSC pe. Right. Now, what is the second thing? In my opinion, you'll have to do a lot of sectional tests as well. Now, you must be wondering, sir, why should we focus on sectional tests? Because most of the academies out there talk about doing a number of full tests. Now, let me tell you, what is the difference between a sectional test and a full test? Right. In terms of full test, let's say, for example, polity pay, only 15 questions will be there. In a sectional test, you will be doing 100 questions of polity only. Right. If you're taking a polity sectional test, it will have 100 questions of polity. If you're doing an FLT, it will only have 15 questions of polity. Now, let's say, for example, if you do an FLT, okay, you did an FLT, you did our Civilsdaily wala open test, and in the 15 questions of polity, you are able to score 9 correct and 6 you got incorrect. Now, what do you understand? What do you understand? Are you completely weak in polity? No. You got close to maybe 60% of the accuracy, 70% of the accuracy. So what do you understand? 15 questions pay, 9 you got correct, 6 you got incorrect. What do you understand? Are you understanding anything? Let's say, for example, in these 15 questions, one question was from Parliament and you got it correct. A question Parliament pe tha, or you got it correct. Now, are you sure that you're completely, you're very strong in Parliament just for the fact that a question pe aapko sahi mil gaya? Do you think that in the 15 questions, one was from Parliament and you got it correct? Does it mean that you're very strong in Parliament? No. So what does an FLT do? FLT will help you to understand the subject accuracy. Polity pe mujhe 15 questions pe 9 mil gaya. That means that, okay, fine, I am a bit okay in polity. In the modern history 10 questions, among the 10 questions, only 2 you got correct. 8 incorrect hai. So, tujhe kya pata chala? You understand that modern history, for the subject of modern history, you're very weak in. So therefore, I need to invest more time in modern history. This is something that you will understand. But will you be understanding in which particular micro theme in polity are you weak in? Would you be able to understand? No. Right. So what happens when you do a sectional test? Now, what happens when you do a sectional test? So in a sectional test of 100 questions of polity, 15 questions will be there from Parliament only. In the 15 questions of Parliament, 11 if you got correct and 4 if you got incorrect. You understand that? Okay, fine. I don't have to revise Parliament once again because Parliament pay, I am very strong. Close to 80% of the accuracy I have, 75% accuracy if I have. Now, in the constitutional bodies, also like 13 questions were there. उसपे मुझे सिर्फ 5 सही हो गई, 8 गलत हो गई. So what do you understand? I should not be wasting my time revising Parliament again and again. Rather, I should be investing more number of time on focusing the constitutional bodies, wherein my accuracies is only like 30 to 40%. Right. So do more number of sectional tests compared to FLTs. Okay. FLTs is only about making sure that your time management is right. Right. Sectional test pay, you don't focus on the time management. Rather, you can do the questions from 1 to 100. It's just about understanding आपकी कंटेंट सही है पॉलिटी पे, आप कौन सी माइक्रो थीम पे वीक है, आपको पता चल गया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज पे आप वीक हो, एंड यू कैन फोकस मोस्टली ऑन द वीकर एरियाज एंड यू कैन probably not ignore, but you can, parliament pe aap abhi badhiya hai, so you don't have to invest more time on that. But what about the FLTs? FLTs will help you to understand, am I doing the right number of rounds? First round pe your accuracy should be close to 90 to 100%. Am I doing the question in 3 rounds or 2 rounds? Is my time management good? So these are the learnings from the FLTs. And in the sectional test, you will be able to understand which are the particular micro themes that you are lacking. So in my opinion, let's say for example, if you're dedicating 3 days for polity, okay, abhi aap polity pe dhyan de rahe hai, and 3 days you are dedicating for polity. So what do you need to do? Let's say for example, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, you're dedicating for polity. So what do you need to do? Monday morning pe, you can take a polity sectional test. Okay, Monday morning pe or Tuesday morning pe, you can take a polity sectional test, wherein you will understand the particular micro themes that you are lacking, or particular micro themes जिसपे आपकी accuracy less than 60 or 50% है. तो अभी क्या करना है? Monday and Tuesday you focus on those micro themes जिसमें आपकी accuracy कम है, and Wednesday also you can take a sectional test to make sure that जिन topics पे आपकी accuracy कम था वो आपने पढ़ाई किया, और उस पे now when you take the second sectional test, उस पे आपकी accuracy in those weaker areas is almost good. Okay, so take 2 sectional tests for each and every subject. Now, should you take for ancient history, medieval, art and culture? No. These areas pe, I mean, in the particular academy that you're doing the question, there will be questions on puppetry, there will be questions on classical dance, there will be questions on music, but UPSC hardly ask any question from these areas, right? So for ancient, medieval, art and culture, you don't need to take any sectional test. Rather, you just need to study the micro themes. लेकिन बाकी सब सब्जेक्ट के लिए क्या करना है? Take at least 2 sectional tests. Okay, so Monday and Wednesday you can take a sectional test each. Now the second question is, how many FLTs should you take? How many full-length tests you need to take? In my opinion, at least 10 to 15 FLTs you should take. Okay, so what do you need to do? Make sure that at least by the 10th FLT that you're doing, okay, make sure that at least by the 10th FLT that you're doing, your time management, you have made it right. Okay, this is a round-wise strategy, or this is a time management that I am going to attend in the real exam. So what do you need to do? From the first FLT to 10th FLT, you can practice different methods. Maybe you complete your first round in the first 30 minutes. In the second FLT that you're going to attempt, you can try to complete your first round in the 45 minutes. Or in the third FLT, you can try to complete your first round in 1 hour. And when you're doing it in 1 hour, make sure you split into 2. First half an hour, you can complete from 1 to 50 questions. Next half an hour, you can do from 50 to 100 questions. So you try out different methods, and you go with that in which you're the most comfortable with. So at least by the 10th FLT, you finalize your rounds, you finalize the number of attempts that you're going to do, and the time management that you're going to do. And just to make sure that you have a practice of that, you can do 5 more FLTs. Okay? So at least by the 10th FLT, you finalize your round management and time management strategy, and you can do 5 more practice questions. So that's like a total of 10 FLTs. Okay? So this is what you have to do in the next close to 20 days. Okay? So from April 21st to May 10th, focus on your micro themes revision. At least 3 times you need to revise. अभी possible नहीं है, अभी at least 2 more revision you have to do. Sectional test, do at least 2 sectional tests for each of the subject, and make sure on every alternate day, let's say for example Monday you can do one, Wednesday you can do one, Friday you can do one, Sunday you can do one. So at least 3 to 4 full length tests you do on 1 week. Okay, so those sectional tests per subject, 10 FLTs, and close to the micro themes revision is what you have to focus from April 21st to May 10th. Now after May 10th, what do you have to do? And so for example, after May 10th, we should not be doing any FLTs. Now why should you not be doing any FLTs? For the fact that, let's say for example, finally you are going to take maybe Vishanaya Sabhyas or something. Now what will happen? Let's say you only score 50 marks or 60 marks in that. What will happen? You will be very demoralized, right? You will be very demotivated. So this is something that you don't want to do. Okay, so last FLT should be May 10th. And after May 10th, what you have to do? You'll have to focus on the PYQs. PYQs matlab, not from 1993 or something. You don't have to itna sara nahi chahiye. But what you have to do? At least the last 10 years. So 2015 to 2025 PYQs you have to do. और उस पे है ना ज़्यादा focus 2021 to 2025 पे दे दो. Because when you actually compare the PYQs, now let me tell you that in 2025, close to 8 questions were repeated. Right. We had a question of Aragata, which was asked in 2016, which got repeated in 2025. We had a question regarding papaya, whether it was native or not. And the same question, almost similar, how many of the above were introduced by the Portuguese, was asked in 2024. We had a question regarding isotherms. We had a question regarding petroleum, natural gas and regulatory authority. In 2024, there was a question with respect to how many of the above fold mountains. And one of the options was Andes mountain range, right, which is there in Chile. The same question was repeated in 2025, right? How many of the countries pass through the Andes mountains? So UPSC tend to repeat the PYQ options, but make sure that up 1993 mancha or 1985 page. Now some of the YouTubers actually say that in 1993 there was a question with respect to Vichitrashita, Matta Vilasa, and the answer was Mahendra Varman. But you must know that if you actually start focusing from 1993, now what will happen? Or 1985, what will happen? 1983 to 2025, matlab, kitna saal hai idhar? 2003, 2013, 2023, and 2025. Close to 33 years or maybe 35 years of PYQ that you are doing. 35 years into 100. This will be like 3,500 questions and this content you will be studying. Do you think it's possible to study the content of close to 3,500 questions and revise the same at least 2 times? Do you think it's literally possible? Do you think it's possible to study the content of close to 3,500 questions? In my opinion, no. Okay. You might feel that, okay, fine, this was something very easy. 1993 pe question tha. It's because you know the answer. Okay. And some of the people must be saying that close to 5 years of CDS paper, close to 5 years of CAPF. Do you think it's possible? CDS 1 साल की possible है. 2025 का CDS you can do. 2025 का NDA you can do. 2025 का CAPF you can do. But geoengineering also maybe, geoscientist also maybe you can look into just to get the patterns or everything. Okay. But do make sure that you can do all this. If you are a maybe 4th time attempter or a 5th time attempter or a 6th time attempter, if you are a veteran who have already completed all the micro themes, who have already completed all the PYQs and everything, then you can focus from 1993, in my opinion. But if you're someone who's attempting for the 2nd time or the 3rd time, let me tell you, आपके पास इतना ज़्यादा time नहीं है to do all this, to revise all this. I mean, doing once is not fine, right? You have to at least revise it once again. So do make sure that you don't dive itna sara deeper from 1993 or something. Last 10 years from 2015 will suffice. Okay. If you had focus from in last year 2025, if you had focus from 2015 onwards, then all this Aragata, baki sab questions hai na, you would have gotten. Only the Mahendra Varman wala question maybe you would not have got the same. Okay, just for that additional question, you will be solving close to 25 additional years of PYQs, which in my opinion, the effort that you are investing and the return that you are getting is very, very less. So don't do that in my opinion. Okay. So what do you have to do? Previous year questions from 2015 to 2025. Study the content of the same. You can also dedicate 1 day per subject. Let's say, for example, on May 11th, what you can do? You can study you can do the 2025 paper, 2015 paper. You can study the content of the questions, and also you can study polity as well. Let's say, for example, polity के लिए आपकी constitutional bodies अभी weak है. You can focus on your constitutional bodies. This is what you have to do in the last 14 days. ठीक है? PYQs करो, 1 day per subject dedicate करो, बस इतना काफी है. ठीक है? Now you must be wondering, sir, I have already done the PYQs like multiple times. Should you do again? Definitely yes. ठीक है? If you know the answer to all the questions as well, you need to do it. Because why do we do the PYQs again and again? It's not for the fact that it's not about knowing the answers to the topic. It's not about knowing answers to the question. Rather, it's about understanding the UPSC language. Right. It's about understanding the UPSC language. So therefore, you need to mandatorily do at least 2 times. Right. When you do the same, you'll have to underline and circle all these words such as mainly, primarily, significantly, can, may, some, all these different words are there, right? And in one of my videos, I told you guys that, and if you have not watched the same, it's there in YouTube. UPSC Prelims is a game of vocabulary, right? When the word mainly, primarily, significantly is introduced in the heading, then maybe the answer may not be all 4, right? If a very famous option come, if in the question UPSC talks about, okay, this is something very famous, then you will have to go for the most famous option, right? So there are certain tricks that you have to master. That's what I'm saying. UPSC Prelims is mostly a game of vocabulary, and you need to master that vocabulary, okay, by solving the questions at least 2 times. This is what you have to do, okay. So why close to 3 to 4, and also make sure that you need to have a lot of offline practice as well. Now, most of you might not be in Delhi, right? Some of you may be in Kerala, some of you may be in different cities. So what do you need to do? You need to go for some test series which will give you that offline practice. Maybe you can go for that forum wall stimulator or vision eyes abhyas or something. But make sure that at least 2 to 3 offline tests you need to do. Okay. Because attending the paper from your home and going into the institute or going into a different school and doing the same, it's a very big stark difference. Okay. So make sure that at least 2 to 3 offline tests you need to do. Okay. And make sure you practice your different time management strategies, your different rounds, and also doing this offline test will help you, maybe get to somewhat of UPSC environment as well. Not completely, no one can replicate the complete UPSC environment. फिर भी है ना, आपको somewhat you will be able to stimulate the UPSC environment as well. That's why at least 2 to 3 offline tests also you need to do in these last 30 days. Okay? Now, as I told you, in case of revision, there are basically 2 methods of doing the revision. Okay? The one is the test-based revision strategy that I have told you. You take close to 2 sectional tests per subject. Morning pe aap ek karo, Monday pe, and then Wednesday also you do 1. Now, if you're someone who feels that I want to study first, then what you can do? You need not go with the test-based revision approach. Rather, you can go with the content-based revision approach. Now, in the content-based revision approach, what do? You don't take 2 sectional tests. You only take 1 sectional test. Now, what do? Monday and Tuesday, you study all the micro themes. Okay, you complete all the micro themes of a particular subject. And on Wednesday morning, you can take 1. Or the 3rd day, you can take 1. When you take that, you will understand the particular micro themes that you are lacking. And for the whole pending hours which you have on the third day, you revise that particular micro theme. जिसपे आपकी accuracy बहुत कम है. Okay. So 2 methods. The one is the test-based revision approach, wherein you do close to 2 sectional tests. Do the same thing on the first day. Understand the micro themes that you are lacking. Focus more on that. And on the third day, do it once again. The second one approach, the content-based approach, you read everything once more. And on the third day, you do a sectional test. You understand which micro themes you are lacking and you focus more on that. Okay. In my opinion, the test-based approach is always better. Okay. Because your micro, you're basically, you know that this is your weaker area and you focus more on that. This is like studying the whole thing once again. Okay. So do this in my opinion. Okay. Go for test-based revision rather than content-based revision. Okay. Now, so what should your 1 week look like? At least 3 to 4 GS full tests. Definitely every alternative day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Go for at least 1 CSAT full test as well. Now, if you're scoring 120, 130, 140, or even 95 plus, you don't need to waste your time doing this full test. On Sunday, anyways, you will be attending any full-length test, right? GS plus CSAT. Just that would suffice. You don't need to do another full test. But if you're someone who's scoring maybe 70, 75, 80, you can do 1 CSAT full test as well. Now, sectional test, at least 2 sectional subject per week. So, political के लिए 2, environment के लिए 2. So, in reality, what will happen? You will be doing 2 subjects per week, 3 days for polity, 3 days for environment, 3 days for almost all the subjects. But for ancient history, only 1 day, medieval only 1 day, art and culture only 1 day. The rest of the subjects, you can dedicate 3 days. So, that's like Monday to Wednesday, 1 particular subject, Monday 1 sectional test, Wednesday 1 sectional test, Monday 1 full test, Wednesday 1 full test. Then you shift to the next subject. Again, Thursday 1 sectional test, Saturday 1 sectional test and the full test in between as well. And then Sunday, you can go for a full length test, which contains both CSAT and GS as well. Okay. And 2 subjects in a week as well. 2 subjects, 3 to 4 GS full test, 1 CSAT full test and 2 sectional tests. So mostly you will be doing on a sectional test basis. You will be always doing number of tests. You are identifying your weaker areas and you will be focusing more on that. Okay. So this is what a week should look like. You're focusing on the economic micro themes. You can see here, money and banking, capital market and bonds. You are doing today. And today you are doing 1 general studies full length test as well. Okay. So make sure that on alternate days, you do a sectional test and a full length test as well. And make sure by the 10th of May, uske aage hai na? So this should be your last full length test. You can see here, 10th of May. Iske aage kya karna hai? No full length test. You only focus on the PYQs. So as you can see here, 2025 General Studies question paper, uski content, 2024 General Studies paper, uska content, and you do polity micro themes, which means that only those area जो आप weak है, polity पे कौन सी topic weak है, judiciary weak है, then you can focus on that. Next thing, 2023 General Studies question paper, उसकी content, 2022 General Studies paper, उसके content, and 1 subject as well, environment micro themes. Then 2021 General Studies question paper, उसकी content. So make sure that you do everything, you stop by the 10th of May, and after that, you should be focusing mostly on the PYQs only. Okay, everyone? So as you can see here, mostly PYQs only. 2015 General Studies paper, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. You will be doing till 2025. Okay. So last full test on May 10th. After that, mostly focus on the PYQs only. Okay. And also, as we have discussed how to solve the paper and how to do the revision test, one of the most important things that I want to focus on is improving your elimination techniques. Okay. Because UPSC is all about, let me tell you, even in the 2025 paper, close to 38 questions could have been solved through elimination strategies. All right. 2021 pay, close to 41 questions could have been solved. 2023 pay, close to, again, the same 37 questions could have been solved through elimination. Okay. Of course, content is the king. But you need to master the elimination techniques as well for you to clear the prelims. You need to master your thought process. That is why mastering the elimination is as crucial as your revision strategy as well. Now, again, coming back to the first question. If you're someone who's scoring above 50, 60, do you think that in 1 month you will be able to significantly boost your content and score close to 100 or 110, which can be treated as a safe zone for you to qualify prelims? Do you think that in 35 days you will be able to boost your scores from 50 to 100 only by focusing on the micro themes, only by doing a lot of sectional tests, only by doing a lot of FLTs? No. You need to master the elimination as well. Okay. The elimination is going to be the decider on whether you will get in, you will get to write the mains this time, or you won't be able to write the mains this time. Okay. So focus more on the elimination as well. That's why I told you last 14 days, only do the PYQs, underline, circle, identify what the examiner meant by that. Identify why did they introduce the word mainly, primarily. Identify the complementary and contradictory statements. Identify the patterns. Identify the general and specific statements. Sab kuch pe dhyan de do and make sure you master the same. Okay. So are you stuck in the 60 to 70 mark loop? Then let me tell you the only way out. Okay. Of course, content is there, but the only way out is to master the elimination. So that's why you need to master it. Right. So these are some of the questions which we have already discussed in multiple of my videos. All of you must have seen the same as well. So why did UPSC introduce the word? Why did UPSC ask this question? Pump, storage, hydropower. Now this is not, UPSC was not testing your content here. UPSC was basically testing whether you are applying your mind in that pressure. Are you applying your elimination techniques in your mind, right? So what can you do here? Pump, storage, hydropower. You split the same. Pump, storage, hydropower. Now what comes to your mind? What means by pump, storage, hydropower? You're pumping water, you're storing it somewhere, and later you are using it for hydropower, right? So you're pumping water from somewhere, you're storing it somewhere, and later you are using it to generate electricity, right? So what options would suit the same? Irrigation of terrace crop fields. Is there any hydropower irrigation here? No. So what does it mean? You're storing it somewhere. You're storing it somewhere for future generating electricity, right? So you can go with the answer, long duration energy storage. Right, this was a question from 2025. So the water is being pumped, then stored in the form of hydropower. That is what is meant by long duration energy storage, right? Now, why did in 2025 UPSC introduce the word several folds here? Right, UPSC could have just said that well-oxygenated surface water contains higher oxygen than in the atmospheric air, right? So why did UPSC introduce the word several folds? This is how you have to think. Okay. Now in this question, in the heading, in a pressure cooker, the temperature at which the food is cooked depends mainly upon which of the following. Right. You can see here word here mainly. Now what do you think UPSC introduced the word mainly? Does it have any purpose? Or UPSC just randomly introduces these words? It all has a purpose, okay? It all has a purpose. That's something that you have to master. Okay. Why did UPSC introduce the word? The industry account for more than 5% of the global carbon emissions. UPSC could have just said that studies indicate that carbon dioxide is emitted by cement industry, right? Why did UPSC say that? They account for more than 5% of the global carbon emissions. Okay. You need to understand why UPSC introduces each and every word. Because each and every word has a meaning. Each and every word has a purpose. Okay. So, how can you master the same? That's why we have introduced this very elaborate course, the dominant prelims elimination, logical elimination. So what does the course contain? The course contains close to 10 hours of foundation lectures. So 5 sessions, 5 into 2, 10 hours of I'll be teaching you each and every elimination technique out there. Be it the specific options, general options, the patterns, the multiple facts, extreme words introduced in the statements, extreme words introduced in the headings, word deconstruction, specific options, going with the patterns, each and every logic out there. I'll be teaching you in this foundation lectures of 5 lectures into 10 hours. Then you will also have access to 10 years of PYQ solving. So I have solved the questions from 2025 to 2016, wherein you will understand how you have to apply the logic which I have taught in the first 5 lectures. Okay? And also, in order for you to practice the same, we are also providing 100 non-PYQ questions. Okay, they are not PYQs. So 100 non-PYQ questions also we are offering to you, which will help you to understand, which will give you a practice on how you have to apply these techniques, which I have taught you in the foundation lectures and also in the 10 years of PYQs. So what's the foundation lectures? Then solve the 10 years of PYQs with me, and then you can solve these 100 practice questions as well. If you're getting close to 90% accuracy in the same, that means that you're very solid in your logical elimination. You don't have to worry about your logical elimination movie. You have to just focus on the content. Okay? So if you have to clear prelims, let me tell you, master your elimination. Because why do I have that confidence that if I write the prelims tomorrow, I'll be able to clear it? I have cleared 4 prelims in a row. Now, why do I have that confidence? It's because I know I'm very good in elimination, because that is what UPSC tests in the examination. UPSC prelims is not something very factual, but UPSC is just testing whether you are able to apply your mind, whether you are able to think under pressure, and that is what you have to master. Okay, everyone? So these are some of the videos. So close to 50 hours of session will be there. You don't have to watch everything. Watch the foundation lectures, and you can go for maybe solve the 2025 and 2024, or maybe 2020 till 2021 with me. इतने सारा time नहीं है आपके पास to watch the whole 10 years, but close to 5 years you can watch the same. Okay. So watch the foundation lectures, watch the PYQ solvings, and then do the worksheet. All this will make you perfect for the PYQs, for the prelims. Okay. So this is what you have to do. Number one thing, spend at least 3 days for a subject. Uspe mostly go for a test-based revision. Take your sectional test, understand the weaker areas, and mostly focus on that. Also, in order to master your time management, rounds, the way you do the paper, do at least 10 to 15 full-length tests, and ISPE, make sure that you attempt close to 2 to 3 offline tests as well, because it will help you to simulate somewhat of UPSC environment. Now, in case of revision, make sure that you go for a test-based revision, because testing yourself is very important. Now, what happens if you go for a content-based revision? You'll be just passively reading the same. You'll be reading the Lakshmi from cover to cover, wherein you are not analyzing or you are not understanding which particular area that you're weak in. So never do that. Mostly go for sectional test-based revisions. Also, the fun and the last thing what you have to do, you have to master the elimination, because elimination will give you an additional edge. It will help you to get close to maybe 10 or maybe 15 questions, 50 additional questions, maybe 10 additional questions. Now, 10 additional questions means that you will be getting close to 20 additional marks. Now, that will be the decider between you, whether you qualify prelims or not.